All right. I know how this looks. I know what you're trying to come here and listen to, but it's not that. It's basically this is just simple concepts on safety. Because I have a story, but we'll get to that later. One thing I really want to say in this video is I really have a issue with understanding open and ground and neutral sometimes, but I understand those that they're very simple topics and you need to understand these to be able to be an electrician or whatever you want to be dealing with electrical work, period. So I will do more research on that, but that's a concept that is fairly easy and open, where it's just like, okay, you need to know when something is open, you need to know when something is grounded, and you need to know when something is neutral, and you need to know how to measure these things with a multimeter. That's something I'm learning right now. So these are really rookie concepts. Everybody should know these before getting into this type of work. Just know when something is open, when something is grounded, and when something is neutral, and how to use a multimeter and what's to check for and what should pop up on the multimeter and what setting you should use. I'm saying? I can't detail everything right now, but I will add another video onto this, so look out for that because I'm still learning as well. But for the main event, I really want to talk about the safety you need to have when dealing with electrical work. And that's probably the biggest concept right now, because it's a very dangerous job. If you're not a pro, or if you haven't been doing it for so long already and you're new to it, you need to have some knowledge before you do anything. And with this story I have later on, I just want to remind and recommend just to remember, hey, you need to know more knowledge before you try anything, And this story took place before I had this knowledge that I know now, because I know this knowledge, but I can't correctly say it yet, and that's where the next video will come in. But this one is more so just the concept of safety with electrical work, and that's why I want to really talk about that before anything else. And trying to save myself because I didn't gather on my notes before I talked about this, but safety should be the most important concept before anything, right? So that's what I want to start with before I go into anything else. So safety, just straight in your face, bro. Electrical work can kill you if you do it the wrong way. If you slip up, you make one little mistake, you do anything wrong, you're shocked, and you're out the game. That's it. So you need to take all the safety precautions. And like I said before, know those three things: when it's open, when it's grounded, and when it's neutral. Make sure power is off if you need to be off. If you need to be on, get the right cords, put the right cords in the right, positive and negative charges, put those in the right places, or that's another shock. You know what I'm saying? That if you have some car knowledge as well, you need to know when to put the right sparks, the right plugs, and the right, what I'm saying? So you need to know that with the multimeter as well too. Basically, safety is very important in this job, and just remembering to turn something off or turn something on, or breaker box, go to the breaker box, it's all those things, because you need to know that before we even get into learning anything about electrical work. Because if you don't know the safety that you need to have going into doing this, you're going to get extremely hurt, and probably in extreme cases, injury or death, because you're dealing with electricity, and electricity is unpredictable and very dangerous. And if you don't know how to properly be safe when handling it, or what to do in case you do have to do something with electrical work, or be safe while you're doing these things, you're gonna feel the consequences or be in extreme pain. So yeah, just be safe, search up safety topics, make sure you know when to have all these things when they're open, grounded, and neutral. Make sure everything is off if you're working on something. Make sure you have protective face, glasses, mouth, hands. Make sure everything on you is protected and possibly insulated, so nothing really seeps through when you don't get shocked or burned, because you can also get burned doing this. So that's all I want to preface this video with, this section with. So It's just safety. The first concept in electrical work. The first electrical concept is safety. Safety, safety, safety. So now, as we're reaching near the end of this video, I need to talk about my story. So, short story of when I thought I was doing something helpful, right? So, in the hallway of my house, there's been this faulty-looking receptacle for a long time. It looks old and it's rotten. It's all pushed into the wall. I didn't have the electrical knowledge that I know at this time, and I didn't make sure the power was off because the light was still on in the hallway. Silly me. But I thought I was doing something good, or I think I turned it off and turned it back on. It doesn't matter. I thought I was doing something good, right? I unscrewed the cap, the one that you usually see, and the receptacle was there, right? And like I said before, the light was still on because I needed the light to see. I didn't turn it off, Once I go over to the other side of the wall, like the lights are still flashing green to show like, hey, this is on. And I went to go for the first screw with I think I had a Phillips screwdriver, or it was a flathead screwdriver. It was one of the screwdrivers. I went for a bottom screw of the receptacle, and guess what happened? Got shocked. Lights in 2 rooms in the hallway went out, and I was blasted back almost, and I felt the surge through my body, and I was shaking. I had to get up and shake it off, but it was crazy. It was a big jolt. I was shaking, like I couldn't stop shaking for a bit, you know what I'm saying? And it was a decent spark, you know what I'm saying? As soon as I touched it, like I got frightened by it and it sent me back, but I also did get shocked. You know what I'm saying? I think I went back on the little table we had there and I scratched myself as well too, you know what I'm saying? But it kind of humbled me, you know what I'm saying? Because I was being slow, but I had my head in the right, direction where I was like, bro, I think I want to change this because it looks like it's, on its last legs. It needs, it needs to be transformed. It needs to be replaced. Not transformed, it needs to be replaced. And I wanted to do it myself. I thought it was easy. I just wasn't thinking to turn everything off. Because why would I not think that? You know what I'm saying? I was being slow. But I humbled myself and I got more knowledge after that fact. And now I know, what to do when I want to do something like that. I should have known before a little bit, but I was just thinking like, hey, bro, I have it now. Let me just try to fix it and change it up. So, it doesn't look all this pushed in and old as it, it's been there for a long time. This house has been here for a good amount of time. It didn't look right. So I was like, bro, let me try to change this. Got a huge jolt. And then after that, I got some knowledge because I knew better. But it really goes to show like, hey, you need to have safety, before you do any electrical work. Make sure everything's off and make sure, you have the right tools and the right wear for doing this type of job, I got my knowledge, I know what to do, and I know what to remember and what to wear and what to be careful for and look out for when I'm doing this type of work. And I think that's the most important concept. So with that, y'all, it's been Tuesday. I'm gonna catch y'all later. Peace.